DramaCityProductions.com.
You're plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Space is the place, and the sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the one and only Troy Adams.
Mwahaha. It's All Hallows Eve, and you are in for tricks and treats here on the Podcast Wrestling Society. I am your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and the man getting a petition going to bring back the Chamber of Horrors match in WWE. I am Troy Adams, and joining the haunt here today, fresh off of the Wyatt compound, he is the Matt Hardy to my Bray Wyatt. Bask in his broken brilliance and woken wisdom. Brother Greg, I knew you would come. What's up, Greg?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. I assume green beans are a delicacy in your house.
I had those for dinner, actually.
Oh, how about that?
So, yeah.
And, well, out there in California, well, you're in the Bay Area, so how hard is it to find a dilapidated boat out there?
Not hard if I go to San Francisco.
Oh, I'm sure they have a lot of dilapidated stuff out there. I'm not going there. Anyway.
Zing! I have two friends in San Francisco who listen to this, so...
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, while we're on that subject, I did want to give a shout-out to some of the listeners, the consistent listeners of the podcast. You know, you and I talked about this last week, Greg. Oddly enough, the country who listens the most outside of the United States is Sweden. So thank you to all of our listeners in Sweden. Apparently we got some fans over there. Thank you to those in the United Kingdom and Canada as well. We love us some Mounties and moose and maple syrup. So, you know, thank you to all you up in the Great White North.
I'm visiting Canada next year.
How about that? So, hey, maybe we'll get some even more Canadian listeners, eh? And, oh, man, I don't know. I think I just lost all of our Canadian listeners doing all the moose and maple syrup jokes. Also...
Hey, we here at PWS love George St. Pierre, so...
Oh, hell yeah, he's my favorite fighter of all time. You, on the other hand, you like...
Got him back!
You like a certain Brazilian that has much in common with an arachnid.
We'll leave that alone.
His nickname is the Spider. Come on. All right, it's cities here in America, however. I did want to give a shout-out to Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, Dayton!
Thank you all for listening. We have that's actually the #1 city here in America for listening to PWS, oddly enough, because we have said some not-so-kind things.
I'm going to say something, okay? This has nothing to do with anything. Just, we don't promote drug use here. Anyways, go on.
Wow. Well, neither does Dayton, okay? Fake news. Do you know where Mountain View, California is, Greg?
I do. It's not that far from me.
Okay, well, we got some listeners in Mountain View. Thank you very much. And,
wow.
Yeah. So there's Mountain View, California is the #1 city for listening to us. At least that's where it designates our listeners. So whatever. And as far as Texas, I'm just going to pull you all into one. Dallas, Houston, Garland, and Kyle, Texas. Thank you all for listening.
Kyle?
Yeah. The guy who will be on with me later on
I'm laughing at that because
will...
there's a co-host, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend nobody.
Yeah. He'll get a kick out of that later on when I tell him. And the other states, that are big listeners, Massachusetts, Maryland, Oklahoma, Tennessee. Thank you all for tuning in. And hopefully there are many, many more week by week. So thank you all for tuning in on a weekly basis. We appreciate your listens, your downloads, your likes, your thumbs up. And definitely, if you can, just give us a review, man. Doesn't take that long. Rate us, give us a review, and subscribe. Thank you all. Oh, man. All right. Well, now that that's out of the way, real quick, before we jump into the news, I did want to pimp our normal stuff. So, while we're on the subject, we got to talk about our association with WrestlingWithWrestling.com. WrestlingWithWrestling.com is seriously your one-stop shop for everything you want to know about wrestling. If you want the latest news and reports, they've got a section for that. If you want to know what's going on in WWE exclusively or Impact Wrestling exclusively, they've got sections for them. They've got a section for New Japan and Ring of Honor, indie wrestling here in the States and abroad from across the world. If you want to keep up with the latest pro wrestling shows outside of WWE, but either you don't get the channel or you don't have time to watch all that wrestling in 1 week, they've got you covered with reviews and shows, podcasts, whatnot, from Pro Wrestling Noah over in Japan, MLW Fusion here in America, and Lucha Underground from down in Mexico. And, of course, you can keep up with us and other great podcasts and our YouTube channel in the Matches, Interviews, and Podcasts section, WrestlingWithWrestling.com, covering all four corners of the ring. And while we're shilling things and pimping things, I mean, later we will talk about the great deals you can get on some PWS swag at redbubble.com/people/pod Society. But right now, man, we want more people to join the society. We want to bring people in, and of course, we would love your patronage. Financial help is always nice to keep this podcast up and running and keep your hosts and co-hosts happier than ever. So here's how you can advertise with the Podcast Wrestling Society. There are actually 3 different ways you can advertise with the podcast if you would like. We recommend that you definitely go through AdvertiseCast.com/podcast wrestling society. There you can see our rates, you can see our statistics, you can see our reach, you can see a description of the show and of me, an About Me section. Your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, Troy Adams. You can definitely see our social media reach as well, not just the reach of the podcast. I talked a little bit about our reach at the beginning of the show. If you want to go back and listen to that again and hear about all the people that are joining the society and joining in, you can email me at japaneseprowrestling@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Our handle is at PodRes Society. That's PODWRES Society. And we are accepting 10, 15, 30, 60, or 120-second ads or promos. We'll do live reads. We'll advertise either your podcast or your product or you or whatever you have to sell. Just hit me up, talk to me about it, and patronize us. We'll bring you in, we'll bring you part of the society, and we would love to have you a part of the team and advertising with us here at the Podcast Wrestling Society. Again, head over to AdvertiseCast.com/podcast wrestling society and join the society. All right, and I think we have shilled all that we can shill for now. Later, Greg, you and I got to get into what great swag they can get over at Redbubble. But I think we'll save that for later because we've talked for a while and we haven't even gotten into the juicy news we've got here. And there's quite a bit. There's some big stories from WWE, New Japan, and there's a weird one out of UFC that I really want to get your opinion on. But you ready to dive into all the news? It is the news. Bro. As just a heads up, we will not be covering Evolution news or post-Evolution news because we're recording before the event, whereas Kyle and I...
Oh, man, you're giving it away.
Well, it's a 2-part show. The first part will be pre-Evolution. The second part with Kyle will be post-Evolution, where we will give you all the rundown of all the things that happened at the event and after, and if any big breaking news has happened since then. Speaking of which, if you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, Kyle and I did cover some of the news that you and I, Greg, did not get a chance to cover, like all the stuff with Roman Reigns and stuff like that. You and I will get into it a little bit today. But for those of you not subscribed to the YouTube page, you're missing out because, Greg, you and I don't get to cover everything over the weekend when we record. So we cover it on YouTube as much as possible. We'll start trying to do that more. But, yeah. Then, of course, you and I have some great treats on YouTube coming out this week for Halloween.
Sure, we'll call them treats.
They were, are they tricks then? I don't know. Halloween.
Yeah, WCW tricked us into believing we were going to see something good. So, yeah, they were tricks.
Oh, if you were tricked into thinking that was going to be good, that's your own fault. So, that's not on them.
Well, hey, in my defense, the monster truck thing, I was like 11, so give me a break.
Everybody loves monster trucks. Man. All right, let's start off with a little WWE news, shall we? You know what I didn't get a chance to, let's just start off with this. I didn't get a chance to talk to you on the podcast about this yet. Kyle, like I said, Kyle and I talked about it. You can listen to our updates in the on the video evolution predictions. Yes, in the YouTube archives. It's evolution predictions. But I wanted to talk to you because not that Kyle and I, obviously we cared and it was a big deal and we're fans, but you are like a Roman Reigns mega fan. Yeah, you're only an avid fan. You only care a little bit. Which, by the way, you can get a t-shirt referencing that on redbubble.com/people/podrest society. But anyway, have you heard anything? Because I really haven't heard any updates. Have you heard anything about Roman's condition? Obviously, for those of you that didn't listen to the YouTube video and have been living under a rock because it's been everywhere, Roman Reigns came out and said he's been living with leukemia for 11 years. It's back, and he had to relinquish the Universal title, which marks the second time that belt's been relinquished within 2 years due to injury. So
yeah, and real quick, both times I was at SummerSlam when the guy won it that relinquished it.
You're
what
cursed.
The hell?
You're cursed, man. Oh man, it's bad. I mean, the Finn Balor thing was bad because he had to relinquish it literally the night after winning it. But we knew he was coming back, and we knew he was going to be okay. Roman, I mean, we're hoping he's going to be okay, but this is bad. I mean, have you heard any updates?
All I heard is he has to probably go through chemo, and it's probably going to be like a year.
Wow.
At least.
Wow. That's
best case scenario.
Well, I'm keeping, I'm trying to keep a positive outlook. For those of you out there that believe in this, definitely send prayers. And some people think, well, it's lame. He's a celebrity. I don't know him, whatever. Still, it's a person, and he's a father, and he's a husband, and he's a human being. Just send positive thoughts, positive energy, prayers, whatever. He needs it.
They'll send him to Joe, but they're still booing Roman.
Yeah, I made reference.
I'm sorry, but if anybody said that, you're a piece of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that on the YouTube video as well. It's like and I told you this too, in a couple messages. I was like, to the freaking T, all these friggin' marks, and people act like, oh, well, this is a thing.
Actually, I want to say you called that before it even happened. I mean,
yeah,
not that it was like, oh my god, you called. It's like you said it was going to happen.
Yeah, and it's pathetic. It's like, there are the handful of, and I'm going to say they're outliers, the ones that are just like, no, screw him. I don't care that he has cancer or whatever. And those are the weird asses that, sit in their mom's basement, beating it to meatloaf and whatever. So And I'm not talking about the singer. I'm talking about the food. But
not that the singer isn't, good looking. Anyways,
not that there's anything wrong with that. No judgment here. But yeah, just like I'm so tired of it. It's like, and all these idiots say the same crap. Well, I'll boo. I'm still booing Roman Reigns, but I hope Joe Anoa'i is going to make a full recovery. Like, screw you. It's the same guy.
Like that vindicates them.
I know. It's like
it's the thing. It's the fanboy part in them. It has to be like, just want you to know, I'm still gonna boo him because I hate him.
Yeah, your Lord and Savior Kenny Omega sent well wishes to the guy. Like, calm down. New Japan as a company sent well wishes to the guy. Calm your nerd asses down. All right, calm down, nerds.
Tama Tonga, by the way.
Oh man, did Tama?
Who played it up like he hated his guts. Send him well wishes. So,
which I don't get that because I think they are family in real life. So it's weird. I wonder if they're doing that just.
Whatever.
Play crap
I'm getting it all off the Twitter feed, but
yeah. So I don't know. That's just like put it aside for like 5 seconds and just wish this guy well.
Let's look at it from this point of view too. You don't like him, I get it. He's now gone for a year. So shut the hell up. You got what you wanted. He's gone.
Yep. Well, somebody brought this up.
I was there in Orlando when they were chanting, "Go away, go away." Now he's away. Mm-hmm. What the hell are you crying about?
Same thing with Cena. Well, now some people are turning on Braun and like, shut up, leave it alone. They got to have somebody to hate.
This was the guy they wanted.
Yep. Well, no,
what the hell?
They wanted him to spite Roman. That's why they wanted him. But whatever. He's not he's not 5'6" and 150 pounds soaking wet with a brick in his pocket and can do, triple axel Healy backflips, whatever. So that's not the guy they want, Greg.
Flippy crap,
Yeah. Hashtag dive. But either way.
Daniel Bryan does like 2 diving moves, so
yeah.
Do they not want him then either, or what?
People are cooling on him, man.
They want Ricochet, they want Ospreay.
They do.
Not that I dislike Ricochet, mind you. I love him, but just the point.
Ospreay, I know we're in WWE news right now, but while I'm talking about injuries, Ospreay is taking some time off to heal from nagging injuries as well. So he's gone. Well wishes to him, as well as Roman, obviously. It's not good. Not good.
I was devastated, man.
Yeah, when you were texting, because I was not watching Raw live. I was catching up on The Walking Dead, actually. And, oh, man, when you texted me that, as soon as I got done with Walking Dead, I turned on Raw. I was like, my God. And, yeah, I welled up. I didn't, full on, lose it, but I welled up. It was hard to watch. And Seth was, bawling like a baby. And, not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't blame him. It's bad.
You can see Corey Graves and Renee. They were holding it back badly.
Yeah. Well, and Corey is good friends with him. Renee's husband is legit best friends with him. So it just, you feel for everybody. And they showed later Nia Jax was losing it in the back, and he's like, "Calm down, you got to work tonight," And
I saw Braun hugging him and crying, dude.
Yeah, and he was telling me, he's like, "Anything you need, brother, I'm right here for you." And everybody was telling him that. It was great. Somebody did bring up on Twitter, and I was thinking the same thing before I read it, but it's like, if you think Triple H got a big pop when he came back from quad surgery, wait till this. And all these marks can say what they want about Roman, but that live crowd is going to blow their crap when Roman Reigns comes back. And yes, I'm calling it. He's coming back and badder than ever.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Yeah, he'll beat this. But moving on to less sad news. Well, I don't know. It's still kind of sad. The second
Oh, God, you're going to bring up Michael Cole, aren't you?
Wow. No, not yet.
Well, what's more sad than Michael Cole?
Crown Jewel, actually, which is the second biggest story for the week. Crown Jewel will be held in Saudi Arabia.
That's weird, by the way. That's the second biggest story.
Yep. And your hero, not that I dislike the guy, I'm a big fan of him too, but Hulk Hogan said that he's excited to go, which one kind of ruins.
It's true.
Which one ruins the whole surprise of him being there, but on the other hand, not good, brother. When people are calling you a racist and all this other stuff, and then you're like, I'm happy to go to Saudi Arabia and perform for these people. Like, what? Not a good look. And then Ronda Rousey, who's not even allowed to go, says that it would have been a mistake.
Because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Exactly.
And I'm not even trying to be funny.
Yeah. She said it would be a mistake if they decided not to go. Like, what the hell? And also, from what I heard,
to be fair, it would be a mistake, financially.
Yeah, and one of my coworkers brought up, they said, well, yeah, she's going to say that because all the women get a big payday for sitting at home. So, yeah, she wants them to go.
They're also getting the spotlight shined on them and them specifically on Sunday. So,
and I have to I'm going to get.
3 days ago. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get a lot of hate tweets for this. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this and move on real quick. Are the men getting paid for Evolution to sit at home? I don't know. Just have to ask. Sorry, just putting that out there.
Michael Cole's working it, so.
Yeah, he's the one.
I don't know why, but I'd have been fine with just Renee Young and Beth Phoenix, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why does Cole have to babysit them? But yeah, are the men getting paid for Evolution to sit at home and not work because they're not allowed on the show?
It's a fair question.
Just putting that out there. I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking. It's a question. Fair question. But whatever. Tweet me all your hate because I'm sure there will be hate. I don't know. While I'm kind of looking forward to the card, I don't want to see this happen at all. I'm not excited about it.
I'm more excited I'm just excited for the Universal title match. That's it.
Yeah.
And only because I want to see Braun win it.
Yeah. Well, there's talks that they may throw it back on Brock because he can go away and they can put the spotlight on Seth and Dean for the IC title, which I hope to God that's not what they do. But, Vince, man. Big sweaty man.
Big sweaty.
Yeah. Braun's big and sweaty. Put the belt
Braun's
on him.
not actually a small guy, by the way.
I know. Beast incarnate, sweaty. Next sweaty thing.
That's going to be Keith Lee, I think.
Wow. But yeah, so anyway, that's that with Crown Jewel. Speaking of which, John Cena has said he is off the Crown Jewel card. He is not working it, and they apparently will address this. Or keep in mind, we're recording this before Raw and SmackDown, so they may have already addressed it. But they said they will talk about it on television and write him out in storylines. Also, I didn't read this, but from what I've heard from people, Daniel Bryan has also said, yeah, I'm not going. So he's out.
What does it say when the face of pro wrestling for the past 15 years refuses to go?
And the biggest baby face on the entire roster. Yep. I just putting it out there for all of you that are blindly, oh yeah, nothing wrong with it, whatever. By the way, we put out a poll on our Twitter. Only a couple people said they would keep it right where it's at. Most of the people voted needs to be relocated 100%. So I
really thought they were just going to make Monday Night Raw in England Crown Jewel. Like skip Raw that week, and that's Crown Jewel.
That's what I thought they were going to do. Some people were thinking they were going to rent the building, for an extra day and hold it, the day before. That's what I would have done, but whatever. Some say that Vince never, ever planned on canceling the show or having it anywhere but Saudi Arabia. He was 100%, this is the way it's going to be. They only played coy for, investors, make it seem like they were thinking about it, which is pathetic, but whatever. It is what it is. Sad state of affairs.
It's a money thing. We all know it. End of story.
Speaking of a money thing here, Uncle Dave mentioned on Wrestling Observer Live that WWE is going to be making a change to find a new way to present house shows, in line with what Vince McMahon mentioned during the Q3 earnings conference call. Keeping on that, according to PW Insider, WWE taped the house show in Boston this past week so that they could test out a new, smaller production crew, possibly for the purposes of filming live events for the WWE Network.
Yeah, for the rumored $15 tier.
Yeah. Well, that would mean that when Kyle and I go to Starrcade, that might make it onto the network. Don't know.
Yeah. Real quick, I was talking to Ramon last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you and I are going to War Games. TJ and Kyle are going to Starrcade. What the hell year are we in?
Yeah, I know. What the heck? It's weird. Friggin' weird. You know the weirdest thing about all this, though, is Starrcade is taking place in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Last year it took place in Greensboro.
Well, I mean, are you really
sense.
complaining?
I'm not. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, what the hell? You know, it's like, okay.
I mean, it should have went to, like, Washington, because, like, that was a big, like, D.C., because I think they had it there, like, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So that was a Starrcade city.
Or Baltimore, even, because they did a lot in Baltimore. I think that was more Great American Bash was Baltimore, but
it was, yeah. You should bring back Super Brawl and put it in the Cow Palace, damn it.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, maybe something.
It's always, they had like 4 there. I went to 2 of them.
Maybe it'll actually sell for a change or sell out for a change. But well, I was going to say.
Won't.
I was going to say I can guarantee WWE's never going back to the Cow Palace.
Oh hell no! I was in there for that New Japan show. It looks worse than ever.
And they complained about it back in the day.
You know what though? It's a historic piece of crap though. I'm not knocking it. I love it. It's a piece of crap, but it's historic.
There are a lot of those around there. Yeah. Well, according to Bruce Pritchard, the Orange Bowl looked like hell too, and they really had to dress that crap up.
Well, New Japan didn't dress up the Cow Palace, so
no, they did. Well,
I watched it back, and yeah, you can see how crappy it is.
Well, I was going to say all they have to do is set up a stage and light it, and that's it. Like, make sure the ring is lit.
That was
the
one
good
thing about.
Boom.
That's the one thing about New Japan. Yeah, they don't like. Well, at least the show. They didn't like the crowd. So
yeah, they keep it dark, so it's it's fine. Last story I have here, this one's a little weird, but I figured I'd mention it. A fan report of a comic convention Q&A.
I don't care. Sorry.
Comic convention Q&A with Big Daddy Diesel, Kevin Nash, posted on Reddit, claims that Nash said that the upcoming NWO reunion is to gauge fan interest in having the group inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, if the Horsemen are in, why not?
That would make all 3 of them 2-time Hall of Famers.
Yep. Which, when you look back at the Horsemen, the only one that would get inducted by himself is Rick. I don't see the other ones going in, individually. Could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, this one kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
All individuals and then the group.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is why I think it was stupid that Nash went in, not Diesel, but...
Yeah. The only 2 members of... especially when Scott Hall went in as Razor. Like, okay.
Yeah.
The only 2 members of the Clique, I mean, unless you're counting Just Incredible, which I'm not.
Why wouldn't we?
Yet to be inducted in the Hall of Fame are Triple H and X-Pac, right? Like, Pac isn't in yet, right?
Yeah, and I think that's stupid. He should be in, but
yeah.
I hope at one point he does go in because he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, they need to show highlights of him wearing a diaper on Raw.
Wow. I was on Raw. That wasn't in your house.
Oh, but, excuse me.
Yeah, you don't want to get that wrong. But for anyone that might argue that, like Hillbilly Jim, Coco Beware, put X-Pac in.
Yeah, he's done. He's held a lot of titles. He's done a lot. I mean, WWE and WCW. So yeah, in his prime, which I would say 1998, he was one of the better performers on the roster, in my opinion. Hell yeah, he was. He was great. He had great matches with damn near everybody. So they said he was the measuring stick for years. So
I still love that match with him and Bret Hart from 1994.
I'll have to go and check that out. I don't remember that
freaking
one.
Classic, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go check it out. That's about it for the WWE news that I got. You have anything else I might have missed out on?
No.
I think
it's a slow week.
Yeah, I think we covered all the bases.
The big thing.
Yeah, there were two major stories. The rest of the stuff is just like cool to know, I guess. Well, before we officially move on, let's take a quick break here real quick. We are on DramaCityProductions.com, and so are these other great podcasts you can hear on there and on all of your podcast listening platforms. Go check them out. We're going to take a quick break and let you know about some of those fellow podcasts on the Drama City Productions Network. Right now, we'll be right back.
DramaCityProductions.com.
Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host, Ben. A podcast about nothing and everything. A podcast where we get together with friends, drink beer, and see where the conversation takes us. We don't edit. We don't care what people say. It's small town people with a small town mentality. It gets offensive at times, lots of swearing, and a whole lot of not caring. Available everywhere you get podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at STMPod, on Instagram at STMPodcast, and on Facebook at Small Town Mentality Pod. We'll see you there.
DramaCityProductions.com. Know me as the prince of the rap game. When I get that flow going, people start to dilate. Never hear me rap on how to discriminate. Fear and hate is what I plan to eliminate. Yeah, y'all know me. This is Trent from Chino's Hip Hop Stop. Come on in and give us a listen if you like listening to hip hop and real talk. Alright, shoots.
But all right, I guess it's time to jump into the only other wrestling news we got is out of New Japan. So, New Japan wrestling news, bro. Well, the biggest story is Cody Rhodes has said, and you and I were talking about this earlier, that he will not be on the ROH New Japan G1 Supercard show in MSG.
He'll probably be in New York that day, though.
I mean, yeah, he could be rejoining the WWE roster, or you and I talked about this as well, he could just be a gigantic freaking troll, because that's apparently what the Bullet Club does. Let the marks sweat it out. I don't know. And here, I have this question, another question for you, like another part to this. If he does go back to WWE, two parts here. Does he go back as the Bullet, with the Bullet Club, do you think?
Oh, I have no doubt.
Okay, well, if they do you think it's going to be like an Undisputed Era type thing where they all just come out to the same song and it's just like we're a unit? What?
Said God, I hope.
Well, I don't mean like part of the Undisputed Era, but like another faction where they all come out together and they all have the same song. Okay.
I think so.
I hope they have a way better name than the Undisputed Era. Because you and I think, had a similar reaction when we first heard that was what they were calling themselves. We were like, what the hell is that?
It's an era that's undisputed.
I guess.
Now I get it.
Yeah, sure. But yeah.
If they're undisputed, they probably shouldn't have lost any matches yet, and they've all lost. So
they didn't say they were undisputedly undefeated. They're not the Undefeated Era, Greg. God.
Well, undisputed usually means like, never been disputed.
Yeah, they're
and they've lost quite a few times.
Well, no, they're undisputedly an era, not a dynasty. So I don't know. They are an era. That's something, I guess. I don't know how 4 people can be an era, but all right. I don't know. It's weird, okay?
I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, so if they come back, I mean, I'm kind of numb to the whole situation at this point. I would like them to stay put where they are, but if they come back, I don't know. I also would like to think that Cody is smart enough at this point where if he's going to come back, he's negotiating with them. It's like, don't ever bring up Stardust ever again. That's not happening. And don't friggin' bury me. Like, I hope he, he's like, look, I can talk and I'm a smart person. Don't, heavily script me and then give me crap. Because, it seems like Drew McIntyre came back, and it seemed like he came back under the assumption that they're not going to bury him and put him in the three-man band again. Because
although we need that group revived, though, but
no. But
hey, one of them is a former WWE champion.
Yeah. You know what's funny? One is a former WWE champion. One of them is in a hot angle right now and may be a future champion. And he's a former NXT champ, former tag champ. The other one, he's just there.
Oh, he needs that job, man. He's got kids.
Yeah. He needs that one match a week on the main event. Yeah, man. But yeah, so I don't know. I hope he comes back. The other thing is, okay, well, let's say they're not necessarily a unit or Cody does his own thing or whatever. Do you think he comes back? Because, these guys have done so many themes for WWE in the past. Do you think he comes back with the current downstate theme he's using, or does he go back to Smoke and Mirrors?
I feel like he uses that everywhere, so.
He does, yeah. Well, I think he, bought the song from them. And
Downstate does every other WWE theme, so why not?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, they already have an agreement. Cody owns the song. Boom. Do it. Like, don't get me wrong. I loved that last version of Smoke and Mirrors, but, I don't know. I think with the way he is now, I think that downstate theme just, it has a punch to it, and I love it. So, I don't know. He may not use that at all. He may have a CFO $ theme for the group that they have.
He said that.
Well, yeah. The other thing, I was thinking of this. It's an odd thing to pop in my head, but if they all come back as a unit, the 5 of them, the Bucks, Cody, Kenny, and then, the Paige, I can almost damn near guarantee they're not going to let him call himself Hangman Page.
Yeah, the noose has got to go.
Noose has got to go, because if he ever gets into a match with an African-American, it's going to have some bad connotations. And
Russo doesn't write this anymore, bro.
Neither does Ole Anderson, bro. No more black guys on chains, all right, bro? I'm not being racist. He did that.
Was that him? I thought that was Cowboy Bill Watts.
That was Ole. Because I remember,
to be fair, it could have been either one of them, but
you're very right. But I remember because Michael P.S. Hayes said when they all saw that in the back, they all looked at each other and was like, Ole's been smoking dope. But yeah, so I'll never forget that. But yeah, I was thinking, by
the way, one of those black guys on the chain, real quick. You know who that is?
Booker.
Only one of the best ever. Whatever.
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he did end up going back to GI Bro at one point, so keep that in mind.
Oh, that was that was Russo, bro. It's no coincidence that any bro was in his name, bro.
Right? Now in the archives, by the way, last week's episode, go check it out. We talk about it. Oh, man, but yeah, he'll have to drop the nickname Hangman, so he'll go back to Adam Page, and I hope he's able to keep, a similar gimmick. I don't know, where he's, wearing the cowboy boots, and he's doing the cowboy. I've always liked the cowboy gimmick, but not, in a corny way, And they don't have a whole lot of cowboys running around.
Not going to get James Storm, I guess.
I really hope he just signs on the dotted line real soon. Before he retires, man. Last story I got out of New Japan here before we wrap this up and move on to MMA. They have announced that Don Callis will be commentating on future New Japan events, so no need for Lanny freaking Poffo.
Oh, man.
No poet laureate of New Japan, unfortunately.
Isn't he still on Impact? I forget.
Callis? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I did not talk about this, but for all of you out there that want, give a crap at Bound for Glory, which looked like it was emanating from a broom closet in Queens, New York, and I'm not joking, go and look at the size of that damn venue. After Austin Aries lost the world title, he sat right up, no-sold the Starship Pain from Johnny Impact, flipped off Don Callis up in the commentator booth, walked out, hasn't been seen since. And apparently that was a shoot, bro.
Austin Aries refused to follow the script.
Yep. And from what
Spoiler for a future episode coming up. We'll get into that.
God. Yeah, next week, bro. But, yeah, so there were rumors that was a worked shoot, Russo style, but it has since come out, nope, that was real. He's gone. So.
This was real.
Yeah. So this is just another notch in the belt of unprofessionalism on the part of Austin Aries. He's like going for the gold with CM Punk. At least Punk only walked.
This, Punk.
Yeah, at least Punk only walked out on WWE. And he didn't like show crap on camera. Like everything he did was backstage. Well, I mean, he did do stuff in the ring, but it wasn't like visible on camera. Because according to what he said, he told the referee, if you let Kane eliminate me, I quit right now. So, I don't know. And that was his the Royal Rumble that he quit at. Anyway, yeah, so I don't think we'll be seeing Austin Aries on a big stage ever again. Which is sad, because I love Austin Aries, but whatever.
Well, you bring the crap on yourself.
He made his bed, man. I don't feel bad for him. He did what he did, his last match in WWE. He's, he lost and he's looking out, smiling at the camera like, yay, I get to go home. Like a douche. Whatever.
Can we say douche on here?
We can say douche. I don't believe that is one of the words that, the George Carlin words that can't be said on television. But yeah. So anyway, that's all I got. You want to move on to some UFC, bro?
Yeah, I got a feeling that you're going to talk about.
All right, couple things here. UFC news, bro. First story here, not really much to get into with it, but and I didn't read the details, but apparently the Nevada State Athletic Commission has extended the suspension for Conor McGregor and Khabib.
Yeah, that's not going to last long.
Yeah, apparently they're, quote, still investigating. Like, what the hell? They're not the FBI. What are they investigating?
Just like, I guess it's if Conor instigated it. That's the only thing I can believe, or the only thing I heard.
Well, if they're talking physically, clearly he didn't. If they're talking I mean, have you seen his promos? He very much instigated crap. But
yeah, but he didn't do anything out of the ordinary for Conor McGregor.
Oh, no, I'm not saying he did. But, I don't know. When you talk about a man's religion, family, whatever, I mean, that's pretty low, I'll say. I'm not defending Khabib, but, it's a pretty low crap move on Conor. I don't know. Just my opinion. But this is a story I really wanted to get to. It is a weird one. The first ever MMA trade could happen and happen soon. UFC and Asia's One Fighting Championship are discussing a historic trade that would send former UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Johnson to One and former Bellator champion and currently retired Ben Askren to UFC.
Yeah. I don't know if you know who Ben Askren is.
I was going to ask you, who the hell is this guy?
In my opinion, one of the most boring fighters in the history of MMA. This dude literally lays on guys for 15, 25 minutes, whatever it is. I think he's had one finish in 10 years.
Okay. Well,
he's also, I think he's never lost, But going off of everything I just said, what's that saying?
Yeah, well, Tyrone Woodley has a really good record, too. Doesn't mean people want to see him.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned Woodley, because if Askren comes in, I guarantee he's going to get a immediate title shot, and it would be Woodley's facing. Imagine that fight. We're talking about Woodley, the guy who threw 4 significant hits in a 25-minute fight. And then Askren's the guy who lays on a guy for 25 minutes. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Askren, he is undefeated. He's had 19 total fights, 18 wins.
He's got 1
no contest.
No decision, I believe, or a draw. Yeah.
Yep. Man, what the hell?
Hey, I'll tell you this. He knows how to not lose a fight. That's the best thing I can say about him.
Yeah. He is a former NCAA Division I wrestling champion, I guess. Olympic freestyle wrestler.
Hey, I never said he didn't have the skill. I just said he doesn't fight.
Yeah. He's with Evolve MMA and Rofu Sports, whatever the hell that is. Or Rufus,
it's not Rufus, is it?
Rufus Sports. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, that means he trained with CM Punk, and there you go.
Yep, Duke
reason why he sucks.
Wow, and he's 34.
That's
just wow. He's 34. Demetrius is 32. I guess it's not a big deal. But why the hell would you trade Mighty Mouse?
I think he's unhappy.
Really? Is it because he's got no competition? I mean, other than, the guy who just beat him.
No, he still claims he won that fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did.
I highly disagree, but...
He beat him before.
Okay.
He lost this time, so they got to have a rubber match.
Okay, you won, 12 title defenses in a row? You're automatically going to get a rematch, so shut up. Well, and anybody who watches combat sports knows that's a fact, that the rematch is where the money is, so shut the hell up.
I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand this at all. It's a weird story. And how do you trade contracted employees? This isn't like the NFL where they're all under an umbrella of the league.
I mean, my only guess is they're just going to trade contracts and honor it.
Yeah. It's just a weird situation. I don't know. Hell ever.
I mean, they're going to give up Mighty Mouse, who in his division is one of the best ever.
Yeah.
For Askren.
Yeah.
And Dana White's verbally slammed Askren so many times. You can look it up on YouTube. He's like, this guy sucks. He's a boring fighter. I don't want him. This is why he went to ONE FC right out of Bellator. So.
Well, and Demetrius has popped a rating a couple times. Askren isn't going to...
Right, but he can't get it done on pay-per-view, though.
Yeah. But still, and it's at least something. But what the hell? Askren isn't going to move the needle one iota. Nobody's going to give a damn. They might tune in for his first fight because they're like, oh, he's coming over from another,
Well, here's the thing. You look at the casual fan, Hugh. Didn't even know who the hell he was.
Yeah.
That's a huge knock on points right there.
Yep. It just doesn't make sense in my opinion. None of this.
The casual fans, 2 million of them bought Khabib versus Conor, whether they knew him or not, just because nobody's going, oh man, Ben Askren's fighting, you got to buy that card.
Oh man, you're not wrong. My God. Well, is there any other MMA news that I haven't touched on that's noteworthy?
Yeah, Frankie Edgar got hurt and pulled out of his next fight.
Oh, man. Knocked me over with a feather.
I know.
When was he supposed to fight?
I think it was in February.
Why wouldn't you put Frankie Edgar in the garden, man?
Beats me.
He could fill up 50 seats just with his family.
Well, they're from Jersey.
Yeah, they come right across the bridge. There you go.
Right,
through the tunnel, whatever. I don't
Hey,
know.
take the stipler over there. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, man. Well, at least they don't, you don't want to say what that one baseball player said that you told me about.
Yeah, well, that's John Rocker. We'll leave him alone.
Yeah,
We ain't touching that.
We'll address what happened with him and Vince Russo on our next podcast. But yeah, whew, big stuff, good stuff. Well, not good stuff, bad stuff.
Yeah, we'll call it good.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one, by the way. It's going to be a listen because there's a lot of crap to cover. I feel like after Bash at the Beach, it really picked up, like with the crap.
Yeah, he probably saw the writing on the wall that his time was numbered. But the thing is, they didn't send him home. He took his ball and went home crying. Because
then he came back.
Yeah, well, according to Bischoff, he started ramping up, and other people started ramping up. Telling him it's like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Stop being stupid. This isn't going to happen. And he cried and he went home. So
3 consecutive shows, something was on a pole, bro.
That's pathetic. Well, that's up for next week. So there's a nice little teaser for you. The list, bro, this week, if you want to head over to our YouTube channel, just search for the Podcast Wrestling Society on YouTube. We also link it.
Subscribe.
Yes. Subscribe and tick the little bell so you are notified whenever new content is posted. We are doing in honor of, because Halloween is all about gimmicks and gimmicking yourself up and whatnot. So figured we're covering the top 10 gimmick match types this week. So that'll be a good one. We've also got some good Halloween Havoc watch-alongs for you. Spread out throughout the week.
Can you stop being so liberal with that word good, please?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're good listens, but watch along, laugh along. It's a good time. Good stuff. The watch alongs are actually fun. I've done that a couple times with like Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson, and they're fun. So we don't do full events. We just do matches to keep it short, sweet, to the point with y'all. But
we do really good matches too.
Oh, yeah, they're always the best. But definitely go through the archives. We've done it with Undertaker at SummerSlam. We've done it with Vampiro with some good, not good stuff, but, funny stuff.
Vampiro with back-to-back ones, by the way. Back-to-back pay-per-views.
Yeah, during the Russo era, because that's apparently the only time he had anything to do. And, we've also reviewed some bad stuff in the past, some bad events, but in a hilarious way, and it's a funny take on it from a fan's perspective. We cover some WCW stuff, some WWE stuff, and one that's neither, but it's got some legends in it, but it's bad.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Oh, yeah. Heroes of Wrestling, baby. But go check it out. They're in the archives on YouTube. Lots of good content, fun and funny stuff on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, you don't know what you're missing. Plus, like I said, Greg and I don't get to cover everything here. So what we don't get to cover, go, check it out on YouTube, man. Like, why not? Kyle and I will try to pick up, what Greg and I cannot. We can't do it all here once a week. But all right, well, anything else before I plug the Redbubble? Anything you want to discuss?
I'm just looking on the internet and I'm not seeing any Naked Midget news, so nope.
Well, he's probably still having his doing his all nude restaurant where he's the fry cook in the back, all nude. I
don't think you want to be frying any foods when you're nude, dude.
Rule number 1, never fry while naked. But all right, well, while we're
just make toast and cereal, that spatters.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not gonna kill you. But all right, well, before you and I sign off here, let's plug the Redbubble. If you go to redbubble.com/people/pod rest society, we have a lot of great artwork there. Greg, you like some of these more than others. I mean, hashtag junk hand out of nowhere, man. That's a take on Randy Orton supposedly touching himself before asking people to shake his hand, and then there's of course the one. There's of course the one about Russo, bro. You and I make reference to it every week when we talk about him. It's we'll set him on fire, then he's gone forever, bro. It's great. And then your favorite, the official Naked Midian fan club president, which is all about you. And
I would wear that every day.
Exactly, because you are the fan club president, but you all can aspire to be Greg or be like him at some point or other. And then there's the HCW shirts. I know for a fact Ramon got one of them so he could go to his tryout. Wait, he wore it there with Rice Bowl Richard and Jimmy Soup Pants and all them guys. Just good times. But there are plenty of HCW-inspired shirts.
Don't worry, folks. He's had his tetanus shots, by the way.
He would have to. And then, for all of you out there, I mean, you and I, we cover the list, bro, each and every single week, and we always answer the question that is you can get printed on a shirt or, some other swag. It's what's the list, bro? And it's in Jersey Shore font because why wouldn't it be? So, and then there's...
Well, Robbie E., came up with it.
Exactly. There's the one we referenced earlier. I don't know much about wrestling. I'm only an avid fan. And then for all of our listeners, our loyal listeners in Dayton, there's a Dayton with Destiny, and beneath it, it says, "Yeah, Dayton." So snatch that up.
You want to have that shirt on hand when it actually happens.
Exactly. When Dayton with Destiny rolls through, to the Nutter Center. Go get it, man. They're going to be hanging from the rafters, bro. But,
you have to be nuts to think this is going to happen. But anyways.
Exactly. But, there's so mane things you can get. You can get our artwork printed on. There's wall tapestries. Not joking. There's posters. There's tote bags. There's drawstring bags, leggings, iPad cases, iPhone cases, Android cases. There are various different kinds of t-shirts and sleeveless shirts. There are travel mugs, tall mugs, hoodies, whatever. And if you don't see anything there that you want, and stickers and whatnot, if you want it printed on something else and we don't offer it, let me know. Hit me up on social media and we will try to rectify the situation for you. And we'll try to accommodate you the best we can.
And as always, if you buy something, TJ is going to personally call you and thank you.
I will not. No, don't send me your number. We're not false advertising here. There will be no calls. But I will send you a message.
Let him call!
Mother of God. We haven't made that joke in a while. But either way, send me your, send me a notification. Let me know, that you bought something. Tell me what you bought. Hell, send me some pictures. And, pics or it didn't happen, bro. And that should be a shirt. It may be in the future. But yeah, we'll send you a thank you. But anyway, yeah, it is redbubble.com/people/PODWRES Society. All right, well, up next we are going to be joined by, or I am going to be joined by Kyle, where we will go over all things Evolution. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Well, of course.
We're going to tell you about some other great podcasts here on the Drama City Productions Podcast Network. Go to dramacityproductions.com and check these other podcasts out, or search for them wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you later.
DramaCityProductions.com.
Hunter Galcast here. Back in 1997, I tried to make my own freelance publication, Hunter Galcast. Founded in a thesaurus, Hunter meaning gothic, outcast is what I pretty much was. Films, any genre, comics, any genre, TV, you name it, I love discussing it. And now that we're in the podcast age, I still podcast with my partners in crime, Edward, Kendra, Todd, and any other guests that wish to come on the show. My gimmick is, I've got a BA in social science, so I try to bring philosophical and psychological aspects to it. But don't take my word for it. Listen to these testimonials that I have right here. Ahem. We know that you're serious. We've gotten little Johnny's ear in the mail. We don't have much money. But if you please accept us, we just want him home safe and sound. I don't know how that got there. Let me spell it out for you. HUNNICOUTCASTS. We're on Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM. We're on the interweb. The interweb. It's not just for pornography anymore.
Well, we are back from our break, and as promised, I am no longer with Greg, but it is that time where I am with Kyle. What is up, Kyle?
What is going on? Man, pretty good week in wrestling so far, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. You first of all, you were on the YouTube channel last week, and you have upgraded to the podcast, and you'll be on next week as well. It'll be exclusively you and I believe. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any record time with Greg, but I know you and I will be covering all things Crown Jewel from the Fallout and whatnot. That'll be
absolutely
interesting, to say the least. And because you are on the YouTube channel as well, I do want to direct everybody to the YouTube channel again. We don't have a custom URL yet, so there's two ways you can go to the YouTube channel. Either go to youtube.com and search for the Podcast Wrestling Society. We should pop up right at the top. Or go to our social media accounts. I post our videos all over there and the links and whatever. Go check it out. Subscribe, tick the little bell, comment, like, all that good stuff. So, and this week is very special for that because this week we're outdoing ourselves. We have, in honor of Halloween, we have 3 Halloween Havoc watch-alongs in video form on YouTube. And Greg and I, of course, are doing The List, Bro. And then you and I are doing our Crown Jewel predictions. So, lots of content. But,
yes.
Yeah, the reason we are here today, though, like you said, it has been a interesting week, to say the least, in wrestling. The Crown Jewel-related stuff we're going to save for our YouTube exclusive video. But for the podcast here today, and this is kind of a story of 2 podcasts here, because what you've listened to before the break, Greg and I recorded before Raw and SmackDown even happened. We recorded before Evolution even happened. So we didn't know what happened. Kyle and I are recording after Evolution, Raw, and SmackDown, so we know everything that went on. So we'll have updated information here. And there's even some early information for Survivor Series to come out of Evolution. So that's pretty big stuff. What the pay-per-view itself, Evolution, the very first ever WWE branded, I gotta stress that, all women's pay-per-view, because, there have been TNA pay-per-views that are all women. But anyway, I digress.
TNA doesn't exist in WWE.
Yeah, well, nobody exists other than WWE. Nobody's ever done this before, Kyle. Nobody.
I mean, the only person that ever acknowledged it was Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
I think that was just a joke.
Right. But, yeah, so just the show itself, what did you think of it, just right off the top?
All in all, I thought it was good. I don't think there were any bad matches.
No.
There's a couple of booking decisions I was kind of confused with, but other than that, I mean, it was a really good show.
Yeah, everything didn't exactly go as we predicted, but, I mean, that's, you and I talked about that before. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to be upset about that because it keeps you guessing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an overly predictable show, I mean, what's the fun in that?
Right. I don't know, by the way, I didn't know that there was a dark match. They didn't have a pre-show for this, did they?
I mean, they did have a pre-show, but it seemed more like a red carpet type deal.
Right. Well, apparently there was a dark match I'm seeing on Wikipedia, but apparently they don't have a time for it because I guess it was literally a dark match. It didn't, it was for the live crowd only. It was Rhea Ripley did have a match because we saw her in the crowd later in street clothes with her championship. So, yeah, but she did have a match. She defended the NXT UK Women's Championship against Dakota Kai, and she won. So like I said, that was just for the live crowd. We could not see it on the network, but
yeah, I was kind of wondering there. I thought that match was supposed to be on the main card there, but
yeah, well,
we didn't get it.
I guess they were just trying to give them something special there live. I will say this looked like a house show setup.
Yeah, it did. It was really dark. The ring, and the surrounding area, it was just very basic. There were no LED lighting or anything like that. And
they didn't even have barriers. They had the old school railings.
Yeah.
And the set was very basic. I mean, it was fine, I guess, but there's two schools.
I kind of liked it, actually.
It wasn't too bad. There were two schools in this one. There's one I saw online. Some people were talking, oh, well, it was an original set. It didn't look like everything else. That's great. WWE needs to keep that up. And on the other hand, there was Greg, and I kind of felt the same way, where it's like, this is, they build it up, first ever all-women's pay-per-view under WWE, and it's a big deal. It's historic. We're just going to give you the house show set. We're no bells and whistles, not too much lighting. It is what it is. I don't know. And that's
I like the way it was set up. I don't know. It just had a different feel to it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what they're going for.
It was okay. Yeah, I don't know. It just, with the way they built it up, I was thinking bigger, brighter, but it didn't happen. And I don't know. And that kind of goes back to my argument on Twitter when people were like coming at me with this stuff. But I told them, I was like, it's a novelty show. That's all it is. And they're, well, what do you mean it's a novelty show? It's a big deal. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a big deal, but it's still a novelty show. It's not, it's not one of the normal pay-per-views. And yeah, it's advancing some storylines and some big stuff happened, but it's just like a special show that's like, oh, here's a little extra. That's all it is. And it's a little something extra when the quote-unquote, it's like they got two pay-per-views in a week. They got the all-women's and then the all-men's. So, yeah. I don't know. Big stuff is happening on both, because Crown Jewel, I consider that the same thing. It's a novelty show. So don't think I'm saying Crown Jewel is bigger. It isn't, in my opinion. I mean, it's got some big stuff, but so did Evolution. But
yeah, it's going to be different than Super Showdown in Australia.
Right. Yeah, Super Showdown, I feel, was the big show that, or the big pay-per-view that happened, recently. That's the one I'm considering, because it had everything all at once. It was a big setting. It was big and bright. Tons of people. Boom. And they made it feel like a big deal. It was a novelty show at the same time. I don't know. What was the last one before? It was Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, that was the last official pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, they put on 3 novelty shows in a row, basically. Don't get me wrong. All 3 of them are very big shows, but they're kind of like blowing their wad right now at the end of the year. I don't know.
A friend of mine was talking about this, just with Crown Jewel specifically, but do you think these shows are really hurting the build for Survivor Series?
No, I think it's kind of helping, because it's, well, I don't know. It's 50-50. I don't want to say it's hurting anything. It's instead of building it up on TV, they're building it up on the network more. I don't know. That's my opinion. But let's. You want to dive into the actual show here?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, the opening match kind of shocked me. They got this one out of the way right off the bat. It was Trish Stratus and Lita defeating the team of Mickie James and Alicia Fox. and they had Alexa Bliss at ringside. When Alexa Bliss came out in like full ring gear, I was like, I thought she was hurt. What is she wrestling? And then I saw a mic in her hand. I'm like, crap. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
This show also had like a bit of a Halloween theme to it, and I think I forget what.
Well, these three.
I don't know what Alexa was going for, but we all know she's big into cosplay. So.
Well, Alexa Bliss was, and they even said it on commentary. She was Alice in Wonderland. That one was kind of obvious. It was more of a darker version because she had like black lipstick and kind of black around her eyes, whatever. Mickie James was the Queen of Hearts, and Alicia Fox was the Mad Hatter, which fit her perfect.
Yes.
I thought Mickie looked extra special good. Alexa's always looking good. Alicia Fox, I mean, she's quite good looking. I'll say that. But getting that out of the way.
Talking about this. We're talking about an all-women's pay-per-view that's supposed to be a big historic deal for the women in here. You still got your pervy moments here on the show.
Okay, got to get it in now. I apologize.
Exactly.
I apologize to all the female listeners if we have any. It is what it is.
This show had a bunch of beautiful women. I mean, and I say that in a very nice, respectful way.
Yeah, well, not one bad-looking woman in the bunch, I'll tell you that. I will say, I mean, she's been out of the ring for I don't know how long, but Alundra Blaze looked a bit out of shape. I mean, that's, to be expected. The Undertaker doesn't always look, fit in form every time he's in the ring either, so, and he wrestles a lot more.
I thought she was in pretty good shape for her age and not being in the ring for however long it's been. So, I mean,
she had a pretty decent showing in that Battle Royal.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, though. But the opening match, they had Alexa cut a promo on Trish and Lita before the match, still doing the "you're old" thing, which is funny because they're probably about the same age as Mickie James. And Alexa did this same deal when Mickie James returned. So, yeah. But anyway.
I have to say I do feel bad for Alexa Bliss, being injured.
I know, it sucks.
Possible times. She always said she said, multiple times in interviews that, Trish Stratus was one of her heroes, growing up, and she had the opportunity to work with her and ended up getting hurt right before that time and wasn't able to do it. So.
Well, I realize that was Evolution, whatever, but in all honesty, Survivor Series is the bigger show, and I feel she's probably going to be fine by Survivor Series, and I have a feeling they might make it a one-on-one there. But yeah.
I don't know. Well,
that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. They had a 10 women tag match on Raw that we'll get to in a bit. But real quick, while we're on Trish and Lita, I forgot to tell you, Greg works at a cafe, as he's mentioned a few times, out in California, and a certain female walked in to get a coffee, and he talked with her. Her name is Lita. Pretty cool, I thought.
Actually.
Like the real Lita, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, Lita walked into his cafe and got because he texted me, he said, "You'll never guess who just walked into my cafe, or who just came into my cafe a little bit ago." And I was like, "Who?" And he said, her name is Amy, but I know her as Lita. I'm like, wow, that's pretty badass, I will say. But let's get right into it here. Trish, I thought, looked the best out of everybody in the match. I'm not talking, physically. I'm talking about in the ring.
Yeah.
Even my wife, who doesn't watch this, and she's like, wow, that older one there is, she's like she seems like the best performer in the ring right now. I'm like, yeah, she always has been. So I thought Mickie seemed great. Lita seemed, pretty good for what she was doing. Alicia is Alicia. In the end, Lita performed. This is what the ending of this match was screwed. They wanted everybody to get their stuff in.
The referee kind of, I don't know if it was on the referee or what.
It was on Alicia.
The spot in the match where Trish hit Stratusfaction wasn't Mickie. Yeah,
it was on Mickie, and then Alicia was supposed to break it up, and the ref is 1, 2, and he holds up on 3 because Alicia's like late, and she like basically flops on top of Trish with whatever she can, and the ref just kind of like stops the count, acting like he got scared or something because she was flying at him. But yeah, so it was blown. The crowd booed, but at the end, I can't. I believe it was both of them got set up by Trish and Lita. Well, they both hit. I think they both hit DDTs or something on them, and then set them up. Lita hit a double Lita salt on him, and then Mickey pops right up, no selling it, and gets a chick kick. 1, 2, 3. Trish and Lita win. So that's that.
Yeah, and the crowd was hot for this match, which really helped.
Until that blown,
yeah,
pin breakup, and then they were booing the hell out of them. But
especially the first time in the match when they got Trish and Mickey James in the ring at the same time, they really loved that. And
right.
I did too.
Yeah, that was great. I was excited for that part. Real quick, I'm going to give my match rating for this because I give match ratings every time we do these reviews, and I rate them by not stars, but I rate them Uncle Dave's. So this time, for this tag match, I gave it 2 Uncle Dave's, 2 out of 5.
Okay.
So I mean, it wasn't the best. It was good, but it was what it was. Real quick before we move on to the next match, the commentary team was Michael Cole, Renee Young, and Beth Phoenix. People were like online were like crapping on Renee for her, saying her commentary sucked and whatever, and they're already turning on her. I thought her stuff was fine.
Yeah,
the one I thought was not good was Beth Phoenix. I did not enjoy her commentary. I thought she was annoying. And I felt like they were feeding her like really bad lines all night.
Yeah. It doesn't, like, she doesn't sound natural.
No, it sounded. I realize I'm trying to keep the mind on she's not used to this. But yeah, they were feeding her lines, and like, is nobody listening and being able to tell? Because like Vince is listening to this. After a couple times, he can't hear that, wow, this doesn't sound natural. Just quit feeding her crap and let her, do her thing. No, he keeps going. Unless she's coming up with this crap on her own, which I highly doubt it.
Well, he makes the same mistake with Michael Cole almost every week, so I'm not really surprised by this.
Yeah. His taste in commentary is the worst. Just the worst. But
it makes me wonder, how was like JR so good, back in the...
Because JR ignored Vince most of the time, from what I heard. He kind of just did his own thing. But yeah, which is why him and Vince kind of butted heads here and there. All right, well, the next one...
Another note on commentary, one thing that did annoy me throughout this show is, like, at the end of every match, they'd say, they just made history, or she made history right there. It's like, we get it. This is the first ever women's pay-per-view. Yeah. I think this is awesome, but good God almighty, can we just enough of the history thing?
I know. Yeah, the whole night was historic, yada, yada. But that one went 11 minutes, 5 seconds. I felt it could have went a couple minutes shorter and it would have been better, but, it was what it was. The next match was the 20-women Battle Royal for the Women's Championship. No surprises as far as entrance. But the match was, I felt, as far as a Battle Royal with 20 women in it, I thought it was pretty good. Everybody got their stuff in.
Yeah, and one thing I loved about the Battle Royal, everybody got their own entrance. Like, they didn't just throw them out there all at the same time. Everybody was introduced. I thought that was great.
Yep. Well, the order of eliminations, I'll go through real quick. I'll just blow through them. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they kind of advertised they were going out first. Then Molly Holly, unfortunately. Then Kelly Kelly. I didn't mind that one because she's terrible. Tori Wilson, again, she's not great. And then Sonya Deville was tossed out by her own tag partner, Mandy Rose.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny that happened after Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville kind of, they teamed up and they got like 3 or 4 eliminations to begin with, so they were on fire to start this match. And then, of course, like we see in every Battle Royal or Royal Rumble,
I know.
you have tag team partners. One's got to eliminate the other.
But the funniest one I ever saw was outside of WWE. It was in TNA. There was a Battle Royal, and Beer Money, who, if none of you know, it was Bobby Roode and James Storm. Bobby Roode was Money. James Storm was Beer. And anyway, Beer Money was teaming up in the Battle Royal. And then Bobby Roode goes to toss James Storm, but Storm catches himself, and he comes back in. He shoves Bobby, and he's like, "What the hell?" And Bobby starts doing the money sign with his fingers, and he, because it was a Battle Royal for like, $10,000 or something like that. He was like, "Money!" And James like shrugs his shoulders. He's like, "Yeah, okay." Funniest thing I ever saw. But anyway, the Battle Royal was getting back to the eliminations. Alundra Blaze was next, followed by Maria Kanellis, who I don't even know why she was wearing clothes. She was practically naked. Not complaining, just saying. But yeah, so she got eliminated. The cameraman got a good close-up on her butt cheeks hanging out of her attire as she's getting tossed out. I'm like, good Lord, guy. Her husband, Mike Kanellis, or Mike Bennett in real life, was at ringside with their baby, who's adorable. Next, Lana was eliminated. I think she messed up a spot because like Tamina and Nia Jax had a face-off at one point, and Lana goes to like, "Hey guys, hold on," and then they both do the Roman like ooh-ah thing, and then start beating the hell out of everybody. Then they go back to doing a face-off, and then Lana comes up and does the same thing, and they beat the hell out of her and toss her out. It was weird. Then Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, surprised she lasted so long, Michelle McCool, who had nowhere near the showing she did in the Royal Rumble.
No.
Naomi, Carmella, who looked like a rainbow, Ivory, who had a pretty good showing herself and actually danced terribly, might I add, with Carmella. Then Asuka was eliminated. Kind of shocking.
She was eliminated by Ember Moon. That was the first time we've seen
Ember
get one over on Asuka.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. And then Tamina, and it was Ember Moon and Nia Jax trying to eliminate each other, and then Zelina Vega goes up and, like, everybody forgot about her. She was hanging out outside. She goes to try to toss them both, thinks she eliminated them, but she didn't. They come back in, they toss her out. Friggin' Nia Jax picked her up, like, press slammed her out onto Tamina. It looked like she just, like, chucked her carelessly. It looked like her knees, like, went into Tamina's face. Because Tamina did not catch her very well like she was supposed to. It looked like Nia was a little careless. But Zelina is a tiny woman. And then the final elimination, shocking to me, was Ember Moon. Nia Jax wins the whole friggin' thing. So we're going to see a rematch between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey sometime in the future.
Yeah, that was one of the matches that was like really confused me on the outcome. Like, why? I don't really think Nia Jax needs it.
No. It was kind of an odd time, I feel, to give her that win, but whatever. I don't know.
So what are they going to do? Is she going to be a heel again against Ronda Rousey, or what?
I don't know. Seems like they're trying to do a face versus face thing, but I thought that she was going to get a match at Survivor Series, but she's not. No. And we'll get to that. But yeah, it was just really confusing. Up next, and I don't rate Battle Royals, kind of hard to rate that, but 16 minutes, 10 seconds. The next match was for the 2018 Mae Young Classic trophy. It was Toni Storm defeating Io Shirai. I was calling her Io before it was Io Shirai. And they had a really good match. First time I ever saw Io Shirai wrestle. She was fantastic. Toni Storm is also great. And yeah, so let's see. Trying to determine here. She went for a moonsault, got caught. She, being Io, went for her moonsault in the ring, got caught with the knees, and Toni picked her up, hit Storm 0, 1, 2, 3, got the win. And yeah, so both of them got bouquets of flowers, and Tony walked away with the trophy. This match went 10 minutes and 20 seconds. I thought it was perfect time. They got a lot of stuff in. It was good stuff. What do you think of it?
This is the first time I'd seen either one of them wrestle, because I wasn't able to see any of the Mae Young Class. I just never had time for it leading up to it. So I was really impressed by both of them. This was a really good match. I enjoyed it.
I remember I haven't seen this year's. I saw Toni Storm last year, and she's made a couple appearances in NXT. So I've seen her and wrestle before, and she's really good. I gave this one 3.5 Uncle Dave's. I thought it was one of the better matches of the night. Not the best match, but I felt it was tied for second best. So that's my opinion. Next up, we've got Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya defeating the Riot Squad. That went 13 minutes and 10 seconds. The ending of the match was a little odd. Well, I will say, first of all, the Riot Squad was all wearing like horror film themed stuff. I can't remember what Sarah Logan was wearing. I know Ruby Riott was trying to look like the puppet from Jigsaw, and Liv Morgan was wearing an It-inspired attire. So that was pretty cool. Like I said, I don't remember what Sarah Logan was wearing. End of the match, Natalya performed a powerbomb on Liv Morgan, followed by an elbow drop from Bayley, and followed by a frog splash from Banks. And Banks gets the pinfall win here. Liv eats another pin.
Yeah.
Always Liv. Poor Liv. I'll comfort her. I'm just kidding, but seriously. Anyway, there goes our last female listener.
Yeah, the match itself was good. I just don't see why Natalya, Sasha, and Bayley had to go over here. Like, what are they going to benefit from?
Yeah, they're trying to.
Why not give the Riot Squad something?
For some reason, they're trying to build up the Boss and Hug connection. As I don't know if they're going for women's tag titles eventually, and they want them to be it. Because they want to do that feuding, best friends tag champs thing again. That's overplayed. But I don't know.
Sasha and Bayley should have had a match on this card. Like, they really screwed that whole thing up.
Well, they want them to be a team for some flippin' reason. Like I said, it's probably the damn tag title situation. I don't know.
Yeah, and they've been handing out. I heard that they were handing out signs at Evolution, I think Raw and SmackDown. I don't know if you noticed people with that sign that says "We want women's tag team titles," and apparently that was WWE handing out those signs. They weren't custom made by fans.
I've never even seen them. I haven't been paying attention, so it doesn't surprise me though. Oh, they're trying to form the narrative. Whatever, but nobody else really wants those. I mean, maybe a couple people, but just there's too many damn belts already. Let's not do it. I gave this match 2 Uncle Daves, by the way. It was
there's not enough
what it was.
There's not enough women on either roster to really do that. If you're going to have the Raw women's tag team titles and then the SmackDown women's tag titles, I think
they might just do one set. That's what I assume anyway.
And have them on both shows. That would make more sense.
Probably. Have them defended. If you're going to defend against a team on the other show, it would probably be only at the pay-per-views and network specials and whatever. But during the month, they stay on whatever show it is. But okay, up next, we have what I considered tied for the second best match of the night, along with the Mae Young Classic finals. It was Shayna Baszler defeating Kairi Sane to become the new NXT Women's Champion. That match went 12 minutes, 10 seconds. And this one was a really good one, I felt. Kairi Sane was at ringside, and when I saw Marina Shafir and Jessamyn Duke at ringside, I thought, oh man, they've been wrestling, they've been training, they're going to get involved. Sure enough, Jessamine reached over the barricade when the referee wasn't looking and grabbed Kyrie by the hair, and then they just kept getting involved after that. Finally, I think the shot of the night was when Baszler was sitting on the top rope, dangling Kyrie by her arm outside the ring in like an arm bar, and Kyrie's just hanging there by her arm. That was crazy. But yeah, and then Baszler eventually got let's get to the what Wikipedia says here. In the end, Duke and Shafir distracted Sane, which led to Baszler applying the Kirifuda clutch. Sane passed out, and Baszler won by technical submission to become the first two-time NXT Women's Champion. So if you want to talk about history being made, that one is actual history.
I was unaware of that, but there hadn't been a two-time NXT Women's Champion. Huh?
I didn't think much about it, but yeah, there have been multi-time NXT Men's Champions, multi-time Tag Champions. Not so much. That one is pretty rare as well. I think there's only been one or two multi-time tag champs. But yeah, I completely missed the mark on the fact that there were no two-time NXT Women's Champions. So yeah.
So yeah, that one surprised me. I did not expect Kairi Sane to drop the belt there. So especially because Baszler had already been champion. So
right,
interesting what they're doing there.
Well, they showed a shot backstage. I guess legitimately, Kairi Sane is best friends with Io Shirai and Asuka. And
makes sense.
They took a picture backstage, all three of them. They all wrestled for Stardom over in the Stardom promotion over in Japan. So I think that's why, they've been friends for a while. And they all know each other. Fantastic female wrestlers to come out of Japan. And I'm wondering if Asuka is going to make a rare trip back down to NXT, or maybe they'll have a pay-per-view or takeover match, whatever, where Asuka, Io, and Kairi take on the three of the four horsewomen of MMA. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be
that seems like what they're setting it up for.
Yeah, that would be different. Everyone keeps expecting a match between, the four horsewomen of MMA and against the four horsewomen of wrestling or WWE or NXT, whatever you want to call it. Sasha,
WWE,
Bayley,
yeah. Well,
Charlotte.
That one's a long ways off because Becky's a heel. So, she's a heel. But yeah, so this will be good for now, and then the three horsewomen down in NXT are clearly heels, and Ronda is a huge baby face, so that's not going to happen either.
Which is confusing.
Right. We might get three of the four horsewomen from both, because, the three of the four horsewomen in WWE are baby faces, and then three of the four horsewomen of MMA are heels. So it could happen. I don't know. Although Charlotte is on SmackDown, but, like I said, pay-per-views, it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen. Let's move on. That one I gave 3.5 Uncle Dave's. Like I said, tied with Storm and Shirai. Next up, we got what I chose as the match of the night. It was Becky Lynch successfully defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Last women's standing match. It went on for 28 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, I agree with you. This definitely was the match of the night. I loved this match. A lot of great storytelling in this. And Charlotte and Becky, they brought it. They didn't hold anything back in this thing.
Should have went on last, but...
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever. Yeah, we know why it didn't for multiple reasons. But yeah, these two tore the house down, literally. They used tables. First, I gotta say this. Charlotte needs to quit trying to do table spots. Every time she does, the table never breaks. They're not heavy enough. Like, Becky is a small woman. Sasha Banks, who she tried it with in the Hell in a Cell, is a small woman. They don't have the weight to break a frickin' table.
No.
And she put Becky on the table at one point, tried a moonsault, the table just fell over. It didn't break. So, and it's dangerous at this point. Stop.
Oh, yeah.
But they use chairs. They use tables.
That's gotta hurt like hell when the table doesn't, give
Oh,
or
yeah.
anything. You're just taking the whole blow there, man.
Yep. Yeah, for both of them. It's not good, bad. But anyway, these they use chairs, kendo sticks. They just wore each other out with that frickin' kendo stick, I'll tell you. They had tables, as we mentioned, announcer tables, announcer chairs, ladders, whole bunch of craziness. It was
whatever they could find
insane.
under the ring, they used. It seemed like
Even stuff outside of the ring. Like I said, Becky friggin' buried Charlotte in rolling leather chairs that the announcers sit in, and pieces of the table, I believe. I don't remember, but anyway, yeah. So, and in all honesty, when Charlotte kept getting up after more and more and more, and then at the end where, she's like rising from under the chairs and everything, and Becky looks scared, and I was like, oh God, is Becky gonna lose here?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The look on Becky's face is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to kill her in order to win this match.
Well, she looked like she's like, she's all like scared and backing away, whatever. I'm like, she just got up from a big like deal that you did to her. She's got to be hurt. You are more like aware. You got to be close to weapons. Just pick something up and beat her with it. Like, why are you scared? I thought it was a dumb spot. The best spot of the match, I feel, was Charlotte put the figure 8 onto Becky with her legs through the ladder, and Becky's like screaming, and eventually she grabs a chair, and
yeah, that the referee slid to her.
Basically, yeah, and there was. She took the edge of it and nailed Charlotte in the shin, quote unquote nailed. She like tinked her. You could tell she was like trying really easy to just like tap her with it. And on commentary they built it up. Oh, she just got blasted in the leg. I'm like, no, she didn't. That was like the tink heard around the world. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But whatever, I get it. But yeah.
There's that there. I mean, there's that. There's also the infamous finger poke of doom. So, I mean.
Yeah. It was. But the ending of this match was, in the end, after leaping off of the ladder and putting Charlotte Flair through the German announce table with a leg drop, Lynch performed a powerbomb onto Flair from the top rope through another table. Flair was unable to make it to her feet before the 10 count. Thus, Lynch retained. Great match. I gave it 4 Uncle Daves. It went almost just a minute, 20 seconds shy of half an hour. It had plenty of time, and it was a great, great match. But I don't know what the future of Charlotte is, considering Paige asked her on SmackDown to captain the Women's Survivor Series team for SmackDown, and she said, nah. So, I don't know.
Kind of wondering what's going on there. I think eventually she'll accept the role. But who knows?
I'm thinking she might get involved in the other match that I'll talk about here in a second. Main event time. Ronda Rousey defeated, thank God, Nikki Bella via submission to retain the Raw Women's Championship. 14 minutes, 15 seconds. I thought it was a good amount of time for this. Not too much, not too little. It was better than I expected, I guess. I gave it 3 Uncle Daves.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. Predictable outcome.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said before, I don't think it should have main evented the show, but I mean, you got Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella. Of course, they're going to put them in the spotlight.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, let's get into it because Ronda dominated like she should have right out the gate, and the only way that they got an advantage was she's messing with Brie on the outside, and Nikki goes up and shoves her face first into the ring post. That kind of opens it up for Nikki to start dominating. And when Nikki hit the rack attack, I about had a freaking heart attack. I'm like, oh my God, no. And then Ronda kicked out. I'm like, thank God. That would have been so stupid. But, Ronda attempted a modified Samoan drop on Nikki, but Brie pulled her over. And then she pulled Brie up on top of Nikki and hit the Samoan drop on both. And then finally, Ronda got the armbar on Nikki and made her tap. Thank the good Lord. Then Ronda did an
instant tap.
Say what?
Like, it was an instant tap. There was no drama or anything. It was like once you got that thing locked in, it was all over.
Yeah, I've noticed they've done that, which is good. They don't have anybody fighting in it because, like, in MMA, like, I think the longest somebody fought that armbar was like, I think, I can't even think of who it was now, fought the armbar for a while, and they ended up dislocating their arm in the process. But yeah, pretty much if she locked that thing in, you're tapping out instantly. Miesha Tate, that was it. But yeah, so good match. Decent closer. Ronda did a little tribute to Roman afterwards, doing his pose on the ropes and saying, "You got this, Roman," and whatever. And then she posed on the stage with all the women. Her and Becky clinked titles together and posed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, leads us into Survivor Series because Becky later on challenged Ronda to a match at Survivor Series. It will be women's champ versus women's champ.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. I find it kind of funny. I don't know if you saw this on. There was like a picture from I think Becky's Twitter, and it said like Ronda, saying Ronda Rousey followed is not following you or followed you or something, and Becky responds with, "Well, she tried." At least she tried or something right after that match.
Wow. Yeah, the one thing, I mean, I did want to see that match. I think it's cool that they're doing it at a Survivor Series, makes Becky seem bigger and makes the match seem bigger. Obviously, the one that everybody's waiting for is Ronda versus Charlotte. And, of course, Ronda versus Asuka, at least for me. I think it would be a fun match.
Yeah.
But this one, I think, will be a really good match because Becky is fantastic. Ronda is pretty good. I think she's a great rookie.
Yeah.
One of the best rookies I've ever seen, actually. And it's cool because they both use an arm bar for a finisher, so they're both going to be working the arm. The thing was, I read something before from a certain uncle whose name rhymes with shave, as they say on Bruce Pritchard's show, Shave Seltzer.
Nice.
And he said they weren't going to they weren't really going to focus on Raw versus SmackDown at Survivor Series. Well,
really?
Now that I'm looking at this card, because 2 matches apparently have been set in stone. One of them I didn't know was a thing, but I'm incredibly excited for it. You see it's Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. IC champ versus US champ. Very excited for that, if it happens. I haven't heard it officially announced, but that's what Wikipedia is saying. And Wikipedia, as we know, is never wrong, Kyle.
No, never.
But I'm hoping that happens.
You could take it to the bank when you see it on Wikipedia.
Damn right. I took it to school multiple times, I'll say that. I already got my diploma, so it's cool. I don't give a crap. Been out of school for about 10 years now, so I don't have to worry about them coming back at me. But yeah, then it's going to be Team Raw versus Team SmackDown for the women and the men. And, of course, we're going to have Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch, Raw Women's Champ versus SmackDown Women's Champ. So you know what that means, Kyle, from what Uncle Dave said. It means...
Plans changed.
Plans changed. Sorry to all of you that weren't expecting that sounder.
Which is how Meltzer says he's wrong.
Well, yeah, he's never wrong, Kyle. They changed plans to make him look bad. God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, that's that. We'll have to wait and see what else is built up. Becky made me even more excited for it on SmackDown with a promo. She said, "I'm coming for Ronda's arm." Very awesome stuff. Man, I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be a great match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know how good Becky is. She's probably 2 or 3. If I was going to rank like all the entire women's division, not just on Raw, not just on SmackDown, but like in general,
right?
I'd probably put her at like 2 or 3.
She's probably my favorite. I think she's one of the best female wrestlers in the world. But yeah, so 2 of my favorites going head to head. It's a dream match I wasn't sure I'd ever see, but it's here, and I'm pumped. I'm getting super pumped for Survivor Series, Kyle.
Oh yeah, it's always a good show.
The Thanksgiving Classic. And Greg and I will try to bring you some exclusive Survivor Series watch-alongs to go with it. And, of course, Greg is going. He will be there in Los Angeles for that and for TakeOver LA. Or, excuse me, TakeOver War Games, too.
Is that going to be before or after Thanksgiving? Is it the week before?
You would ask me after I closed the window. It's just, see, Survivor Series, I believe it's, man, I want to say it's before. It is November 18th, so it is the weekend before.
Yeah, okay.
So I think they're sending everybody home for the actual holiday, so that's cool. Then, of course, we've got, TakeOver TLC after, or I'm not, why did I say TakeOver? I'm looking at 2 different things. I'm sorry. After this Survivor Series, we have TLC. That is coming up in December. I'm not seeing December 16th is when that's going to, and that's going on in San Jose, so Greg's probably going to go to that damn thing as well. Lucky turd. Man, he's just getting it all in. Why can't it come to Ohio, man? But I can't complain too much. You and I are going to Starrcade, so.
Hell yeah, that's going to be fun.
It'll be good.
Absolutely.
We'll give a nice little review of the show for those of you that can't see it. We'll give it on, we'll probably do it on YouTube. But you know what that means? That means that y'all need to go to our YouTube page right now and subscribe. Friggin' subscribe. Don't make me tell you again. And click the little bell. We have a lot of content. More content is coming each and every week, and you're going to enjoy what you hear, what you see. And I'm putting more quality into our videos, which is a lot of work for me because it takes forever to render the damn things. So go watch them. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up, Kyle. You and I will cover Crown Jewel news on on YouTube. So, yeah, thanks for joining me today.
Yep, not a problem. It's always fun to do. It's a fun show to review. Pretty good Fallout as well, so we'll see where this goes.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely, like I said, everybody, if you haven't heard the list, bro, yet for this week, it is kind of Halloween themed, because Halloween's all about gimmicks, so we're going over the top 10 gimmick match types. And next week, it's going to be a fun one. We've went over the worst repackagings that WWE has done of people that have come over and even some that have been there for a while. Next, we are going over the top 10 repackagings that saved careers next week. Be a good one, so go check it out. And we'll come at you next week with some Crown Jewel Fallout. Later!
This has been a Drama City production.